137 days, ladies and gentlemen. That's how many days we have left until that poster right behind me turns from 32 to 33. I may replace it, I may not. That one's got signatures on it. Looking ahead to it next weekend because Survivor Series is around the corner. But I was challenged by Alex Lorenzo for the 15 question chain. I'm not going to challenge anyone to do this because I don't think anyone's going to accept. But I might just say to someone, hey, if you want to do this, go right ahead. So he gave 15 questions you have to answer. And I'm going to run through them. Number 1, my top 5 WrestleManias. For me, it's a little different just because I started watching WWE in the mid-2000s, unlike some people who've been watching it since the 90s. I'm just going to name them, this is not in any chronological order, but 31, 26. I say 20, even though 20 had the Goldberg-Lesnar match. It was my first WrestleMania ever watching on TV. WrestleMania 17. And one more, 28. Because it was my first ever WrestleMania I attended. Best show I've ever been to. Oh, best show I've ever been to. I've been to quite a few good shows. One of the better ones, because he has the better question, which one do you have fun to, and best show I've been to where the card was good top to bottom was, or even good moments, was the WWE, my first ever, speaking of which, I'm going to Buffalo on Monday night for Raw. And my first ever Raw in Buffalo, 2013, my friend Keith and I took the trip down to Buffalo to watch it. We had 9th row on the floors. We thought of it like, okay, it's a few days, going to be about a month or so to WrestleMania. So we're going to do this and then have WrestleMania. So boom. And we got Undertaker opening the show. We got The Rock. We got basically the number 1 match to determine that Punk was going to face Taker at Mania. The Cena Rock confrontation. Got to see a bunch of old school guys, which is pretty cool. It was a sold out venue. It was very loud. It was good to be at. So yeah. Number 2 is NXT Brooklyn, the first ever one because of everything that happened in there. Most fun I've ever had at a show is 2 years ago. I went to a Monday Night Raw in Montreal, Quebec, and it was Keith, TJ, and I. And Keith and I, because TJ had a rough night the night before, I think you could, if you can't spell out the fucking puzzle, you have something wrong with you. But the two of us just got absolutely trashed and just watched was there for the show, and everyone's loud and just making noise and having a great time. So we just blended right in. It was perfect. It was so much fun. I had a great time at that show. Don't really remember what happened that much at the show, not because I blacked out or anything, but we just went to Raw. It was fun. Montreal. It was a great time. If they ever go back to Montreal, I'll be there. Favorite moment I've witnessed live? Whew. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Bayley winning the NXT Women's Championship just because of the pure emotion inside the Barclays Center for that match. Matt Lorenzo and I hugging each other after the match. We're screaming and jumping. Matt hit a guy right behind him. We're all just everyone's marking out. Everyone's losing it. It was such purely amazing. Pure, I have nothing better to say than that show, but purely amazing. Yeah. Next, favorite item in your wrestling collection. Mine is very limited just because I don't have a crazy amount of things like other people, but I'm looking around right now, and the one thing that, if I can find it, let me just check in here. Official, that's just my 32 program in there. This counts as one of them, my tickets for WrestleMania this past year. I'd have to say, I'd pick a top 3 quickly. That poster right there, because it's signed, and it's cool. I like it a lot. And then if I go to next week, I can get it signed possibly by Jericho and Owens and various other people, because the majority of the people that are in that photo are going to be in Toronto. Except for Ryback, because he got released in Jobber, and so the Dudleys. But no, those 2 right there are my favorite items. But if I had to pick one, it's that one right there. Yes. 6. One wrestler you have met that... Wait. I gotta read this because I'm like have his video open as I'm doing these. One wrestler you have met that you want. Oh, that's easy. That would be one wrestler that I've met that I want to. One wrestler that I met that I want to is or I gotta go back and like get an instant.
But we had Liger. I would have to say, since I technically met Stone Cold,
it's basically one wrestler that I met that I want to. It's still gonna be John. It's a tie between Cena and the Undertaker, just because I know, you don't sign a lot, and Cena's rare to get. So those two, but Cena over Taker, just because I'm a huge Cena fan. One regret I have as a wrestling fan. Ooh, this has a story to it. So WrestleMania 28, I only went Friday to Monday. I only did Hall of Fame, and I only did Mania, because I got it as a Christmas present for my parents. My dad and I went to the show. And I remember the Monday, I was in the Miami airport, and we're eating lunch before our flight takes off, and guess who I see walking right by me? Edge. One of my favorite, probably my favorite of all time. And so, like, it's like him and Triple H and a few others are in like my top 5. And I see him going, and I start going. Like, I just regret not getting the chance to take a photo with him, because he was going back to North Carolina. His mom was actually on my flight home, and brother. But I saw him, and I was just like, oh man, like I still regret to say it was almost been 5 years, but yeah. That right there. But yeah, like, and I'm like walking down afterwards, like, did you meet him? I'm like, no, I didn't get to one time. I was like, I still think about it to this day. Until I meet him, I'm gonna hold that to myself. Yeah. Favorite superstar of all time? I think I just answered that, but it is him. It is the rated R superstar. A lot of people take me as a big Cena fan and a Cena mark. John's in my top 5 just because he's the first the one guy that I started watching, but Edge, just because I've always loved him, just how cocky, charismatic, rude, crude, and lewd he is. The rated R superstar, you think you know him, but sometimes you don't. So yeah, it's Edge. And then second and third is Jericho. Triple H is second, and then Jericho's third. I've actually met 2 of the 3 that I did meet. I met Triple H twice at SummerSlams, and Jericho I met at a Dave & Buster's before the Royal Rumble in 2015. Which is pretty cool. I think I can meet him next week. I'm probably going to meet him next weekend. Favorite Undertaker streak match? That would have to be WrestleMania 25 without a doubt. People say that I say 28, but I said 28 in the sense of my favorite live WrestleMania match. My favorite match live ever to be at was 28. Best Taker streak match, however, was 25, just because they told a fucking great story for, I think it was like almost 30 minutes. The fact, too, of like how all the near falls and everything. And also because I know a lot of people say 26 is better, but 26, you knew who was going to win. I knew purely that Undertaker was going to win that match. At 25, you thought, hey, the streak may be ending. So, and how they did all the moves, too, and how the entrances, how you had Michaels coming from above like an angel in all white, how you had Taker rise up from like the dead, like kind of like heaven versus hell. It was just a perfect match, in my opinion. Next up, best non-WWE wrestling event you have attended. I've been to a few indie shows in Toronto, and I've been to 2 ROH shows. I went to one. I went to one is called Smash Wrestling in Toronto. I got to see Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. That was not Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, AJ Styles. That was right there. That was WrestleMania. AJ Styles versus Chris Hero. I am sorry. This is before Chris Hero got a little fat. But I remember I was in the 3rd row, and also when I first saw Johnny Gargano, so it's gonna be really cool to see him next Saturday night. But I see that, and then when I go down, he basically lines right around front of us. But there's a bottle there, and the bottle just smacks in Hero's back, and he's just, who put the fucking bottle there? And he's like grabbing his back in pain. Oh, it was so perfect. And then afterwards we got to watch the Royal Rumble in a bar after, so with all the wrestlers. So it's pretty cool. Who's going to be the next champion? All titles. Universal, Finn Balor. Raw Women's, Miss Hugs-a-Lot Bailey. Tag teams for Raw. I don't know. I'm gonna say the club. I'm gonna say the club. Simple. Intercon, U.S. title. Oh fuck, this is the tough one. I can see maybe Jericho winning it. I don't know. Maybe to give him and Owens kind of like best friends. They have both titles. Cruiserweight Kalisto. WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton. Because I can't see Ambrose winning that TLC match. I just can't. Let AJ have a big run with it. Intercontinental. Probably The Miz in like maybe a couple months from now. Somewhere down the road. Probably The Miz. Somewhere maybe TLC-ish area. Next one is Raw, SmackDown Tag Teams. I'm going to say the Usos, and then the Usos are going to lose it to American Alpha. Like with Raw Tag Team Club and then Enzo and Cass, who I've met and probably talked about before several times. And then you got Raw, SmackDown Women's. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Miss Lynch. Hopefully it's Alexa or Carmella because they've been doing amazing. And moment that almost had you in tears, once again, it is the Bailey. Just because, like, it's so, like, it's not, like, sadness tears, it's tears of joy. If I want to talk tears of sadness, or, like, a stun, or, like, almost, like, just, like upset about losing, it comes down to probably Undertaker at 30. Because even though I wasn't in the building, what I did was, I was at home, and with Keith, Such, and TJ 2 years ago. And what happened there was, we're watching it, and it was like, when like even Such and I did a predictions video like about almost a week before the show, and I said, Undertaker losing is like betting against the Harlem Globetrotters. You just don't do it. Words bit me in the ass, and we're all in my basement. No one said a thing. We're all silent. We're all stunned. We didn't believe shit until they announced the winner and they flashed the 21-1 up on the big screen. Like, I can't even imagine being in the building. Like, I ask everyone who's been to WrestleMania 30 what it was like. I just can't imagine it. Like, I can feel it. I just can't imagine it. Number 13. Favorite show on the network. I have 3. I like Swerved a lot. I think it's funny. Ride Along. Just because it's cool to see what they do on the road. And if I had to pick a third... Breaking Ground. I really like Breaking Ground. Yeah. 14. Who in the Indies which I think most gets signed? I'm gonna say that same. I'm gonna give the exact same answer Alex Lorenzo gave. The Bucks, the Young Bucks. But I feel like they don't want to, and they're just too good on the Indies. So with that being said, I'd love to see a guy like ACH get signed. Purely simple. I'd love to see ACH. Just because he's a bigger guy. He has a lot of movement. He's got hell of a lot of charisma to him. I'd love to see him get signed to the main roster. He's the realistic answer, but my honest answer is the Young Bucks. Least favorite wrestler, I have 2. Primo and Epico. Shining Stars, Los Matadores. Call them whatever the hell you want. I just never have liked them. Their gimmicks have been horrible. If you know me, you know I hate them. I was actually happy when the Bull got fired from WWE. I just never liked them. Primo and Epico aren't due, but Fernando is due. Okay, with that being said, let's talk. So we are 137 days. 137, people. It's not a drill. It's going to happen sooner than later. But there'll be more videos coming up. I'm doing a birthday day in the life on Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat at GRI11. I created it like 3 years ago, and I don't really know why I did that. I can't change it. Raw day in the life. I saw a comment on my last video will be happening. Yes, it will be happening. I will be doing a Raw day in the life. NXT day in the life. Survivor Series day in the life. And I may do a week-long day in the life, but like one for each day. I don't know yet. I'll see how it plays out, because I do have this week off work. But with that being said, guys, I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. If you watch this, you watch this. If you don't, you don't. And if you do, if you want to leave a bad comment, go fuck yourself. And with that being said, I'll see you guys when I see you guys.